25 Costco products where other stores can't compete. A former retail pricing analyst shared something that completely transformed how I approach shopping. There are 25 products where competing stores simply can't match Costco's pricing margins. It's not even mathematically possible. The one that surprised me the most: you'd never expect to purchase it there. You know that premium olive oil displayed on grocery store shelves for $30? The one featuring the Italian flag and some elderly gentleman's portrait on the label? Right. Kirkland's $12 bottle outperforms it every single time. UC Davis conducted blind taste tests. Food experts placed this 2-liter jug among the top 5 best value olive oils in America. And here's what really gets you. When investigators revealed dozens of extra virgin oils as watered-down frauds, Kirkland successfully passed the authenticity tests. The oil originates from multiple Mediterranean regions. Third-party verified, no deceptive practices. That dark bottle isn't purely decorative either. It prevents light degradation, maintaining your oil fresher for longer compared to those clear bottles that essentially bask in sunlight on store shelves. California Olive Ranch demands $28 for the same size. You're spending more than double. For what reason exactly? But olive oil is only the start. Wait until you discover what Costco accomplishes with something you likely discard every month: batteries. The quiet budget destroyer lurking in plain view. At pharmacies, you're spending 75 cents per Duracell AA, sometimes even more. Costco offers the same exact copper top cells, no inferior knockoff nonsense. Here's what frustrates me. A 40-pack at Target costs you $25 to $30. Costco offers the identical product for $17.99. That's not a promotional sale. That's simply their standard pricing. And these batteries remain perfectly functional for 10 years on a shelf. 10 years, your remote control dies at 11 p.m. during a movie. Grab one from your supply. Blood pressure monitor beeping loudly. Taken care of. The real frustration is convenience stores. Purchasing batteries at a gas station is essentially a "I forgot to plan ahead" penalty. You're spending 40% more because you didn't stock up properly. My grandfather referred to this as lazy money. And honestly, he wasn't mistaken. But batteries aren't the only thing unnecessarily draining your wallet. RX bars are those protein bars that essentially advertise on the front of the packaging. Egg whites, nuts, dates, that's all. No strange chemicals you struggle to pronounce. Here's where Costco transforms everything. A single RX bar at a gas station costs $3 at Costco. You're spending about $1.25 each. That's less than half the price. The 12-pack includes flavors like chocolate sea salt and peanut butter, so you won't get tired eating the identical thing every day. And truthfully, these taste significantly better than those cardboard-textured health bars from the 90s. Each bar delivers 12 grams of protein with no added sugar whatsoever. Compare that to granola bars that are essentially candy with superior marketing. I maintain a box in my desk drawer. Beats visiting the vending machine at 3 p.m. when hunger hits hard. But protein bars are merely the beginning. Wait until you see what Costco does for parents with young children. 25 cents per diaper. That's what you're spending at Costco. Meanwhile, Target and grocery stores demand 35 to 40 cents for the exact same Huggies. Doesn't sound significant, right? Well, here's the math that'll make your wallet cry. The average baby consumes 2,500 diapers in year one alone. At Costco prices, that's $625. At regular store prices, nearly $1,000 gone, just for something that gets immediately destroyed. The 192 count box lasts approximately 3 to 4 weeks for newborns. That means fewer midnight emergency runs to CVS, where diapers cost roughly the same as a steak dinner. And here's something remarkable. Costco allows you to return open diaper boxes. Your baby sized up faster than anticipated. Bring them back. No other major retailer offers that. Now, speaking of sweet savings, that'll improve your mornings. Real maple syrup at Costco is almost criminal in its pricing. 40 cents per ounce, just 40. The premium stuff at Whole Foods runs over $1 and 25 cents per ounce for the identical grade. Here's what most people don't understand. That maple-flavored syrup sitting in your pantry. It's essentially corn syrup dressed in a costume. Check the ingredients list sometime. Real maple syrup has one ingredient. Maple syrup? That's everything. And the health perspective actually matters here. Real maple contains antioxidants and minerals like zinc and manganese. The fake stuff? Just sugar masquerading as something superior. This dark amber grade pours thick and rich. Perfect for pancakes, obviously. But also oatmeal, baked beans, even marinades for salmon. Store it properly and it lasts for years, actual years. No pressure to use it quickly. Now, speaking of products where Costco dominates the competition on cleaning power, let's discuss stain fighting. OxyClean comes in an 11.7-pound tub at Costco for under $17. That's roughly 170 loads of laundry power sitting beneath your sink. A standard 3-pound container at Walmart costs about $10. Do the calculation. Costco's price per pound is literally half. Here's what makes this stuff unique. The oxygen-based formula attacks wine stains, grass marks, even those yellowed shirt collars you've been concealing. No bleach damage whatsoever, no ruined colors. It activates in water, performs its job, then breaks down into harmless soda ash. Billy Mays made this product famous, yelling on infomercials at 2 in the morning, but honestly, Costco's price would have destroyed his entire pitch. Hard to generate excitement about savings when everyone already understands the deal. One scoop tossed in with regular laundry can restore gray whites back to life. Speaking of kitchen staples that deliver genuine value, real Parmesan cheese, not that powdery substance in the green can that tastes like sawdust and disappointment. Belgioioso ages their wedges over 24 months. That's 2 complete years of flavor development before it arrives in your kitchen. The same wedge at fancy cheese shops costs $28 to $35. Costco offers it for $14.49. Here's what most people overlook. Pre-grated Parmesan contains anti-caking additives, cellulose, essentially wood pulp, prevents the shreds from clumping together. A solid wedge contains pure cheese, nothing else. Grab a microplane grater and you've got fresh Parmesan in seconds. The difference in taste is absolutely shocking. And don't discard that rind. Toss it into soup, stews, or pasta sauces while they simmer. It melts down and adds this deep, savory umami punch that makes people inquire about your secret ingredient. Now, speaking of kitchen staples that disappear quickly, paper towels might seem boring until you run out mid-spill. Bounty's triple rolls are essentially cheat codes. Each one equals 3 regular rolls. So that 12-pack, that's 36 rolls worth sitting in your closet. Here's what frustrates me. Grocery stores charge about $2 more per equivalent roll for the exact same product. Same blue packaging. Same quicker picker upper slogan, completely different price tag. The trap and lock texture actually does something real. It absorbs 50% more liquid than generic brands per sheet. I tested this with a knocked over coffee mug. 1 Bounty sheet finished, and those selector size perforations, Game changer, small spill, small piece. No more ripping off a complete sheet to wipe up 3 drops of water. One Costco run covers 4 to 6 months of paper towel needs. Americans consume 80 rolls per household annually, so bulk buying here simply makes sense. Speaking of things that disappear quickly, let's discuss coffee shop math for a second. A single La Colombe draft latte at your local cafe costs about $3.50 to $4. That's before tip and before the 15 minutes you spent in line behind someone ordering a half oat milk. Whatever. Costco's 12-pack drops each can to $1.67. Here's what makes these different from regular canned coffee. They use cold-pressed espresso blended with frothed milk that actually tastes like a real latte. Not that bitter, watery disappointment from vending machines. Each can packs 10 grams of protein and 150 calories, way more balanced than those sugar bomb frappuccino drinks. Keep them shelf-stable in your desk drawer, your car, the garage fridge for early mornings. No barista required whatsoever. No judgment for still wearing pajama pants at 8 a.m. But speaking of daily essentials that add up quickly, Tide Pods, the holy grail of laundry convenience, at 20 cents per load, you're spending almost half what Target charges for smaller packs. That's not a deal, that's theft, legal theft, but still. Here's what I love about these little detergent grenades. They combine soap, stain remover, and brightener into one squishy packet. No measuring required, no spilling blue goo down the side of a giant jug. Just toss it in and close the lid. Consumer Reports ranks them among the top 3 detergents for actual cleaning power. Not marketing fluff, genuine dirt removal. 152 pods lasts my family approximately 5 months. 5 months without thinking about laundry soap. That's absolutely beautiful. And the concentrated formula means less plastic waste than those massive liquid jugs that consume half your laundry room. But speaking of things that disappear quickly, wait until you see what's next on this list. Almond butter at the grocery store feels like a luxury penalty. $7 to $8 for a tiny jar that barely lasts a week. If you're spreading it on toast daily, Barney Butter at Costco offers 2 28-ounce jars for under $14. That's roughly $3.50 per jar. My local Whole Foods charges double that for the same quality. Here's what matters most. No hydrogenated oils, no added sugar, no weird stabilizers, just almonds doing what almonds do best. You'll notice the oil separates at the top. Don't panic at all. That's actually proof. Nothing artificial is holding it together. Quick stir and it's good as new. I use this stuff in smoothies, on apple slices, straight off the spoon at midnight. No judgment here whatsoever. The protein and healthy fats keep you full longer than that sugary granola bar ever could. Speaking of keeping you going, your toothpaste situation might be costing you more than you understand. Here's the thing about toothpaste. You always run out at the absolute worst possible time. Late Sunday night, you're brushing with a flattened tube, squeezing it like you're attempting to extract the last bit of ketchup. Then Monday morning arrives and you're at CVS spending $7 for a single tube. That's essentially a robbery in broad daylight. Costco's 5-pack of Crest 3D White costs about $20. That's $4 per tube, same whitening formula, same minty freshness. Just without the drugstore markup that makes no logical sense. Each tube lasts 2 to 3 months if you're brushing twice daily like your dentist keeps reminding you, so this pack covers nearly a year. One purchase, completely done, and here's what dentists actually say. Consistency matters more than brand name. Having toothpaste on hand means you'll actually use it properly. Speaking of things you use daily, coconut oil might surprise you significantly. Coconut oil used to be the villain. Doctors claimed it would clog your arteries and destroy your life. Now it's in everything, from smoothies to skincare routines. Funny how that works out. Nutella's organic version runs about 21 cents per ounce at Costco. Whole Foods charges over 50 cents for the same stuff. That's more than double for identical oil. Here's what makes this one unique. Cold-pressed and unrefined means no chemicals touched it during processing, you're getting pure coconut period, and the uses are endless. Fry eggs in it, rub it on dry elbows, deep condition your hair properly. My wife uses it for everything except the car, and I'm honestly not sure she hasn't attempted that too. The 84-ounce jar lasts most households 6 to 12 months. Solid when cold, liquid when warm, both completely normal states. Speaking of kitchen essentials that last forever, aluminum foil deserves some attention. The 500 square foot roll, let that sink in for a second, that's roughly equivalent to 5 standard boxes from your grocery store. Except those 5 boxes would cost you $45 to $50. Costco charges under $30. But here's what really matters most. This isn't that flimsy stuff that tears the moment you attempt wrapping a turkey leg. Heavy-duty thickness means it actually survives contact with real food, a typical household usage. One roll lasts approximately 2 years. 2 years, you'll forget you even purchased it. And that cutting edge on Costco's box actually works properly. Revolutionary concept, apparently. Here's a weird one for your next dinner party. Aluminum foil was invented in 1910 and originally cost more than gold by weight. Now you're purchasing it in bulk at 6 cents per foot. Speaking of kitchen staples that seem boring but save serious cash, here's something most people completely overlook. Organic eggs aren't just about fancy labels whatsoever. Those bright orange yolks, that's not food coloring. It's the result of hens actually eating grass, bugs, and living like chickens should properly. A dozen organic eggs at Whole Foods costs $6 to $8. Costco's 24-pack comes in at about 35 cents per egg. That's nearly half the price for the same certification. And here's a fact that might surprise you significantly. The average American eats 279 eggs per year. That's a lot of omelets at those numbers. The savings stack up incredibly fast. Now, some folks worry eggs spoil quickly. They don't. Properly refrigerated eggs last 3 to 5 weeks past the carton date. My grandmother kept eggs longer than that and lived to 93 just saying that out loud. Speaking of things that last, the next item stays fresh even longer. Nobody wants to cook chicken from scratch on a busy Tuesday evening. That's where these bad boys come in. 3 pounds of fully cooked chicken breasts for under $10. Do the math, and you're spending about $3.33 per pound. The deli counter demands $6 or $7 for the same convenience. That's highway robbery with a smile attached. Here's the thing. Most people overlook. These freeze beautifully for up to a year. So when dinner plans fall apart and you're staring into an empty fridge, you've got protein ready in minutes. Slice it for salads, toss it on a sandwich, reheat it with some rice and veggies. My wife calls this our lazy dinner insurance policy. She's not wrong whatsoever. The texture stays consistent too. No weird chewy bits or dry spots anywhere. But protein isn't the only thing worth stockpiling from Costco's vitamin aisle. Vitamin D deficiency affects 42% of American adults. That's nearly half the country walking around tired, achy, and wondering why their immune system can't catch a break. Here's where Costco becomes your pharmacy's worst nightmare. Nature's Truth D3 at 5,000. IU per soft gel costs under 5 cents each. The same bottle at CVS runs $18 to $22 for half the quantity. That's highway robbery with fluorescent lighting overhead. The soft gel form matters more than most people understand. Vitamin D is fat soluble, meaning your body requires oil to absorb it properly. Tablets simply don't deliver the same way, and with 250 soft gels per bottle, you're covered for over 8 months. No monthly pharmacy runs required, no forgetting to restock. My doctor recommended this exact dose after a blood test revealed I was running on empty. Turns out, sitting indoors, writing scripts doesn't count as sun exposure whatsoever. Speaking of things that make mornings better, La Brea Bakery baguettes might be the most underrated bread deal in the entire warehouse. 4 Artisan baguettes for $8. That's $2 each. Walk into any decent bakery and you're spending $3.50 to $4 for a single baguette. That's honestly no better quality. Here's what makes these unique, crisp crust on the outside, soft and airy interior, the kind of bread that actually crunches when you slice it properly. No preservatives either, which sounds like a downside until you realize that's exactly why it tastes like actual bakery bread. Instead of supermarket cardboard, the freezer trick is a game changer. Slice them before freezing, then pull out pieces as needed. They stay good for 6 months, perfect for impromptu dinner parties or Tuesday night garlic bread cravings. My neighbor calls these his secret weapon for entertaining guests. Guests assume he went to some fancy bakery somewhere. Speaking of fancy, wait until you hear about this Irish butter. Grass-fed butter sounds fancy until you realize it's simply butter from cows that actually eat grass. Revolutionary concept, right? Kerrygold comes from Irish cows grazing outdoors 312 days per year. That's not marketing fluff whatsoever. It's why the butter looks almost orange compared to pale American sticks. Here's what matters in your kitchen. The butter fat. Content hits 82% versus 80% in regular butter. A 2% difference sounds tiny, but when you're making pie crust or croissants, that gap creates flakier layers every single time. 4 bars at your local grocery store costs $18 to $22. Costco sells the same 4 bars for about $13. Professional bakers won't touch conventional butter for puff pastry. They know grass-fed fat performs differently at cold temperatures. And speaking of medicine cabinets, there's one bottle that might be the single best deal Costco offers on pain relief. Pain relief shouldn't require a second mortgage. That's why Costco's 360-tablet bottle of Advil makes so much sense. Under 5 cents per tablet. CVS charges 15 to 20 cents for the exact same pill, and yes, it's genuine Advil, not a generic knockoff hiding behind fancy packaging. Here's something most people don't realize at all. Ibuprofen stays effective for 4 to 5 years past its expiration date when stored properly, cool, dry place required, that's it. Americans purchase over 30 billion doses of this stuff every year. 30 billion doses, that's a lot of headaches, sore backs, and I definitely should not have helped my neighbor move his couch situations. The real kicker here, buying Advil at a convenience store costs roughly triple what Costco charges. Triple for the same exact medicine. Now, speaking of things that disappear faster than you'd expect, let's discuss something every kitchen needs. Stock is one of those things nobody thinks about until you're making soup and realize you have absolutely none. Pacific Foods organic chicken stock fixes that problem permanently. 6 cartons, 192 ounces of liquid gold sitting in your pantry. The math works out to about 6 cents per ounce. Swanson and other brands charge double that at regular grocery stores. Here's what separates good stock from great stock. The low-sodium version contains just 70 milligrams per serving. Most competitors pack in over 500 milligrams. Your cardiologist would actually approve of this purchase, and these cartons last 1 to 2 years unopened. No rush to use them quickly, my grandmother always said. The secret to restaurant-quality cooking is superior stock. She was absolutely right. Soups, rice dishes, gravies, they all transform when you're not using watery bargain bin broth. Speaking of transformations, wait until you see what Costco does with toilet paper pricing. Let's discuss bathroom economics for a second. Each mega roll equals 4 regular rolls, so the 30-pack means you're really getting 120 rolls worth of toilet paper. The math works out to about 25 cents per equivalent roll versus 40 to 50 cents at grocery stores. Here's a number that might surprise you significantly. The average American uses 100 rolls of toilet paper annually. This single Costco pack covers 4 months for one person, and Charmin's cushiony texture consistently ranks highest in consumer comfort surveys. Your behind deserves quality. But here's where it gets absolutely ridiculous. Buy toilet paper at a convenience store during an emergency, and you're spending roughly 300% more per roll. That's the "I didn't plan ahead" penalty tax, and it stings worse than cheap one-ply. Yes, 30 mega rolls require storage space, but you know what else requires space? Your dignity when you're sprinting to 7-Eleven at midnight. Speaking of pantry staples worth stockpiling, Nutella might be the only spread on earth with a borderline cult following, and honestly, I completely get it. 2 massive jars at Costco cost about $14.99. That's 22 cents per ounce. Grocery stores charge you 35 cents or more for the exact same hazelnut. Goodness. Here's a wild fact to consider. Ferrero buys roughly 25% of the entire world's hazelnut supply just to keep up with Nutella production. 25%. That's more hazelnuts than some countries even grow annually. Each jar packs around 50 servings. So, unless you're eating it by the spoonful at midnight, no judgment here, this 2-pack lasts months, and the shelf life? Unopened jars stay good for up to 2 years. That's longer than most gym memberships last realistically. Now, if you're into frozen fruit for those morning smoothies, the next item delivers genuine value. Fresh blueberries are essentially little balls of disappointment half the time. You get them home, eat 3, and by day 4 they're growing fur in your fridge. Wyman's frozen blueberries get picked at peak ripeness and flash frozen within hours. That locks in nutrients that fresh berries start losing the moment they leave the farm. Here's what surprised me significantly. Studies show frozen blueberries retain nearly identical antioxidant levels to fresh ones, sometimes more because they're not sitting on a truck for a week. The math is brutal for fresh buyers. You're spending 40 to 60 cents per ounce for berries that spoil quickly. Costco's 3-pound bag runs about 21 cents per ounce and lasts a full year in your freezer. Smoothies, oatmeal, muffins, yogurt parfaits, these things handle them all without the guilt of watching fresh berries decompose. Speaking of lasting value, there's a supplement that's been quietly dominating the wellness aisle. Collagen is everywhere now, in your coffee, your smoothies, even your baked goods, and Vital Proteins basically started that whole trend initially. Here's the deal on this. This 20-ounce tube packs 20 grams of grass-fed collagen per scoop. Your joints, skin, and hair all benefit substantially. The same container at GNC or Whole Foods costs $35 to $40. Costco sells it for $24.99. That's a solid 30 to 40% savings just for buying. Will you buy your toilet paper anyway? The best part here, it dissolves instantly and tastes like absolutely nothing. Stir it into morning coffee, blend it into smoothies. Your drink won't know the difference whatsoever. Each tub lasts over a month with daily use, around 30 to 40 servings depending on how generous you pour. My knees started thanking me after about 6 weeks. Could be placebo, could be collagen, either way, I'm not stopping anytime soon.